bad payers can sink your personal training business in the matter of months. Here's what I've done to stop them being able to do that, but also talk about the mistakes that I made earlier on in my personal training career. Making money is essentially the main reason why we go out to work as personal trainers. Now, yes, I love spending time with my clients and I absolutely flipping love my job. But the end goal is to make money, to create the lifestyle that I want. But some people get in the way of that. And clients who don't pay or who are bad payers can have a massive knock-on effect to not only you, your business, but your whole life around that. If you're struggling with bills or having to pay bills because you're waiting on money to come in. Now, when I first set up my personal training business, bad payers were commonplace. Was it their fault? Was it my fault? I think it was actually a bit of both. I would always, as I still do, invoice at the end of each month. But I had no strict terms and conditions of how I'd basically ask them for the money. I'd send them an invoice and just leave it with them until they paid. Now, if I get an invoice sent to me, probably because I own my own business and I know what cash flow's like, I pay it straight away. So I just presume everyone is the same. But that is actually it was actually very stupid of me to think that, because people aren't the same when it comes to money, especially with people who are employed, because they don't need to worry about sending out invoices and getting money back. They know that they're just going to be getting their money every single month because their employer pays into their account. So they don't necessarily think about the knock-on effect. Bad payers in your business can crucify your business, and we need to stamp it out straight away. As I said earlier on, I'd let people go 2, 3, 4 months without paying. But the crazy thing is, I'd still turn up and train them week in, week out. So I'd sort of say to them, just to let you know, last month's invoice is still outstanding. So if you can come, Rob, no problem at all, I'll get round to it, I'll do it today. And I'll be waiting that evening, money's coming in, and it didn't. And I didn't have the confidence or the balls to actually say, no, come on, I've done the work, you're now 2, 3 months behind, I need this money. And it took me a while, but I got stronger and stronger and had those uncomfortable conversations. Now, I was always taught that having uncomfortable conversations is what moves you forward in the business. And when it comes to money, it's never been truer. As you know from my previous videos, all my clients are set up on a direct debit payment. So the money comes into my bank account. I know exactly which day it gets pulled out of the bank account. I'm almost in control of that. But I appreciate that isn't for everybody, although I really would recommend it for personal trainers. But if that's not the way you want to run your business, I would strongly suggest getting tough with your clients in terms of payments and when payments are due. And also what happens if they do miss the deadline. Will you start adding a fee if they miss the deadline? Which I think you're well within your right to, as long as you let them know. But the biggest thing I did before I moved to a direct debit payment was I stopped training those clients until they paid. It's that simple. So they might message me and say, hi Robbie, you good for this Thursday? I said, actually, do you know what? I can't come to you this Thursday because your invoice is still outstanding. So can you settle that and then we'll get you back in the diary and we'll go from there. It's that simple. We haven't got to blow things out of proportion at all. But making sure you're getting paid is vital to keep your business afloat. As I said, there were times when multiple clients had 3 or 4 months invoices outstanding with me. And that could equate to thousands and thousands of pounds, which then put stress on me to be able to pay my mortgage and pay my bills on time. Remember, the work's done. They owe you that money. They said they were going to pay it, so it needs to be put in your account. Now, as I said, these are really hard conversations to have with clients. And I always say it's the tough conversations you have with clients and with people in general that move the needle, that move you closer to where you want to be. So I appreciate it's incredibly tough, but start having those conversations as soon as you possibly can, because I can guarantee the sooner you have them and the more of them you have, the easier they become. Now I have no issue about asking money from a client. Well, so much so, I basically take the money out of their bank account via direct debit, which is fantastic. Remember, you're in this job, first of all, to make money. So make sure that money is coming to your account when it's owed to you. It seems an incredibly simple thing, but this is one thing that can sink an early personal training business very, very early. So let me know in the comments down below if you've had bad payers, and let me know how bad those bad payers have been, but more importantly, what you did or what you're going to do to stop that from happening again in the future. But until the next time, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.